Fantastic. So that is the thing number one that is keeping you poor, uninformed optimism. Number two is a little story I want to tell you. So I was called up probably 2-3 years ago by a guy I knew in high school. We hadn't talked in a while. And he said, hey, I've got this roofing business. I want to scale it. I want to go big. I was like, that's awesome, man. And so he was telling me about the roofing business, and then all of a sudden he says, oh yeah, I mean, we also do some general contracting work. I was like, okay, why don't you grow the roofing business? He said, well, don't leave money on the table. I was like, okay. And then this one's going to sink in for some of you guys. And he was like, I was like, so you've got the roofing, you got the GC stuff. And he's like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. He's like, he paused for a second. He's like, well, we also kind of flip houses too. So we like fix them and flip them. We also do the contracting work, but we fix the roof so we just get huge costs. We're vertically integrated. I was like, dude, you're making less than $3 million a year. You're not fucking vertically integrated. You're distracted, right? And he was like, how do I scale? And I was like, just pick one. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, pick one. It's like, why do you think you can't build a $1 billion roofing business? Just doing roofing. And just get better at doing roofing. He's like, well, I don't leave money on the table. Who here said they don't leave money on the table? The money you are leaving on the table is the focus that you are not giving to the one thing that matters. And so, by the way, this is the self-made woman list for Forbes. This is Diane Hendricks. She's the #1 wealthiest self-made woman, by the way. And she owns, if you can see it there, ABC Supply, which is roofing. Not house flipping. Not general contracting work. Roofing. Why didn't he build that? He's smarter than Diane Hendricks. That's why. So this is the list. And this is what I want you to notice about this list. This is the Forbes, the top 6 for women, self-made. Notice the age of the people on there. Age is the left column, 75, 78, 84, 90, 89, 63. On the right, notice the source. Roofing, healthcare software, retail and gas stations, trucking, Little Caesars Pizza, IT. So sexy. The point of this slide is that if you want to build something epic, you have to be able to do the same thing for an extended period of time without convincing yourself you're smarter than you are. Which means, if you wanted to not make money, this is what you should do. Number 1, do lots of different things. Number 2, do them for short periods of time. Don't stick with it too long, because you might see success. Number 3, do not get help, okay? Number 4, make all the mistakes on your own. It's the best way to do it. Because otherwise, if you start learning from other people's mistakes, you can move faster, so don't want to do that. When you make a mistake, do it again. Just repeat it. Especially if you're like, I've been here before, do the same thing. Who here knows the definition of learning? I'll tell you. Same condition, different behavior. So if you want to teach someone something and you present them the same condition and they have not changed their behavior, they have not learned. If you came to this workshop this weekend with the intention of learning something, can I get everybody to raise their hand if they had the intention of learning something while they were here? If you go back home and your behavior does not change, you learned nothing. Nothing. Truly took the money and burned it along with losing the output that you lost in the time of here plus travel. So if that definition has been singed into my mind, because if I want to learn something and I have the same condition that's been presented, I have to ask myself, if I do the same thing again, it means I have not learned. And I don't want to play this boss again. So if you do want to make money, you can flip it. You do one thing for a very long period of time. You get help from other people. You observe what other people have been doing. You only make the mistake one time, if you are going to make them. And you always grow and challenge the beliefs that you had and try and answer the question, what do I believe to be true that is not? Because ordinary businesses done for extraordinary time create extraordinary results. Compounding is the thing. Like, it has to compound. If the vehicle you are in right now does not compound with time, then change the vehicle. Get into something that if you stick with it for an extended period of time, it would be unreasonable that you will be poor. That was my construction buddy story.